today we're not making, I'm making. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hello, welcome my fellow book lovers. Today's video is super exciting for me because it has to do everything Kindle Unlimited. If you haven't seen the two other Kindle videos I made, go ahead and go watch those. I mean, you don't have to watch those before these, but the first one is me, setting up my Kindle for the first time. And the second one is basically me convincing you to get a Kindle. Because if you don't have one, you need one. But that's not what this video is. This video is going to be fun little summer Kindle Unlimited book recommendations. I'm so excited, okay? If you don't know, I am obsessed with Kindle Unlimited, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. I am simply obsessed with Kindle Unlimited. I don't think I need to repeat it a third time, but just in case you didn't hear me the first two times, I am literally obsessed with Kindle Unlimited, okay? I try and get everyone that I know to either buy Kindle or just get Kindle Unlimited, like for your iPad or for your phone, like through the app, because it's literally so worth it. The subscription is that much money, and plus you read a lot of free books. It doesn't get better than that, okay? But anyways, like I said, that's not what this video is about. This video is me giving you fun summer book recommendations that are all on Kindle Unlimited. Now, Kindle Unlimited is great for people who don't want to go out and buy so many physical books and stuff like that, or just they can't simply afford to go out and buy so many physical books, but they can afford the Kindle Unlimited subscription and get so many books that are available through Kindle Unlimited. I really don't want to drone on with the intro of this video because I tend to do that. I tend to ramble. And let's just get started on the book recommendations I have for you. I'm actually really hoping that all of these will still be on Kindle Unlimited by the time this video gets out to you, because I've noticed for some reason, or I don't know what's going on, I'm not exactly sure how rotating in and out of books or what books get chosen to be put on Kindle Unlimited, especially really popular release books. Elena Armas had quite a few, or I think all of her books, put onto Kindle Unlimited for a limited period of time, and then they all went away. So I was only able to read one book by her before they took all of them off Kindle Unlimited. So I'm not exactly sure how it works, but there are some really popular books on here that I just think you need to run to Kindle Unlimited to read, okay? Don't do anything else. If this is a book that you've been wanting to read, but you've been pushing off buying it, I want you to run, not walk, okay, to that Kindle app and get the book so that you can read it before it's taken off. So this first one, now this is not one that I was literally just referencing. This first one that I'm about to mention, I absolutely loved this book. It gave me the best summer feeling, and it's such a fun summer romance. And this one's always on Kindle Unlimited, How to Honeymoon Alone by Olivia Hale. I absolutely loved this book, okay? This book follows Eden and Philip, and Eden and Philip both were engaged, but now neither of them are engaged, but they're still going on their honeymoons. So they end up meeting at the resort, and they ended up just deciding, let's spend some of our honeymoon together, because Philip had all these excursions planned that were all planned for two, and he was like, hey, did you want to do some of them with me? And the story goes from there. It's such a fun little summer read. It takes place in Barbados, and literally after I read this book, I was like, huh, Michael, do you want to go to Barbados? That's literally what I said to my husband. I was like, we should go to Barbados. I actually read this one last year and I absolutely loved it, okay? I have been thinking about it, and it's one that I actually really want to reread this summer because it was just so fun and summery. I don't even know if the actual time of year takes place in summer, but they go to Barbados and it's a tropical vacation. So it's fun summer read. Okay, I highly recommend you read this one because it's just, I keep saying, it's so fun. Okay, this next one, this is a thriller mystery, so if you're not a fan of those, then obviously this is not one for you. This one, I just saw that they put on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know how long it's been on there because not all of her books are, okay? So just keep that in mind. Not all of her books are on Kindle Unlimited. So this is one that you need to run to go get, okay, if you haven't read it. And that is Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. This is a 5-star read for me. I want to let you know that it took me a whole year for me to realize that this was not the 4.5 stars I thought it was. No. Because you want to know something. I still think about this book. I still actively think about this book since last year when I read it. This is a 5-star mystery thriller, and like mystery thrillers, like for my ratings, usually fall a little bit different. It's like more about like how much you're able to like twist the story and like shock me. The twists and turns really did get me. She set this book up so well that almost like little side things that I personally forgot about while reading it, she brought them back and wrapped them up somehow into this mystery, like, and how they all were intertwined, how everything in this book, everything that is mentioned is intertwined. Okay, Local Woman Missing is about this small little neighborhood. Well, not small, it's not a small neighborhood. Okay, Shelby goes missing, and then a week later Meredith and her daughter Delilah end up going missing, and then 10 years later her daughter Delilah resurfaces and shows back up, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, what happened? It gets you, okay? Let me tell you, it is a good freaking story. So you need to run to Kindle Unlimited to get this book, because if you haven't read it, you need to, okay? And I will die on this hill that this is one of the best thrillers that I have read to date. All right, next up, let's move back on to another silly little romance. I want to say it's similar to How to Honeymoon Alone, but it's not the same. It's not the same. They give similar vibes, and that is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. So this is another one you need to run to Kindle Unlimited, okay? They, I think, recently just put this one on Kindle Unlimited for people to read on there. Obviously, I don't know how long it's gonna stay because I don't think any of her other books are on Kindle Unlimited right now. So you need to run to get this one, because this one is so fun, flirty, and just like a silly good time, okay? This is an enemies to lovers romance. Her twin sister goes on her honeymoon with her new husband's brother because they all get food poisoning and can't go. She gets to go on a honeymoon with the person that she despises most, and it's not even their honeymoon. Fun little romance. I really, really like this one. So many people, I feel like though, don't like this one, and I don't understand why, because this one is just like so much fun. I don't know. I don't have any other words to describe it other than fun. It's just so fun and like, I don't know, just not serious, and like, it's just a fake dating enemies to lovers little trope. It's just a good time, okay? This is again involves another fake honeymoon, like I said, and it's just a fun time because there's so many other like little side things going on that you find out about afterwards. So you do need to run to Kindle Unlimited to get this one, because this one I do not know how long it's going to be on there for. This is the only one by Christina Lauren that's on there right now. So you need to run. Next up, this is just one that is, I think, just originally published on Kindle Unlimited, but it's by someone who is kind of like a little, not infamous, but she's kind of like an upcoming like indie author, and it's called The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer. This is the only Stephanie Archer book that I've read, but this book is actually an entire series, the Quiet Cove series, I think it's called. This is the second book actually in that series, which I didn't realize when I first started it, but clearly you can read them all as standalones. So if you want to, I would highly recommend the whole series, because just based off this one book that I read, I can definitely tell that the entire series, I'm gonna be eating it, okay? So I do plan to read the rest of the series this summer. I'm not exactly sure if the rest of the series takes place in summer, but this specifically does. Please hold. I think his name is Wyatt. Okay, so this book revolves around Wyatt and Hannah is looking for a husband. She's like, I need to do whatever it takes for me to be a hot girl, for me to find me a husband, okay? And then so, they're not necessarily like friends, but they're not like people who dislike each other or don't talk. You know what I mean? He's very known as like the town, like kind of playboy-ish a little bit. And so she goes to him and she's like, hey, you get a lot of girls. I need you to teach me how to be a hot girl so that I can find me a husband. And he's just like, okay. So he ends up basically telling her what she needs to do to like find a husband and everything like that. Obviously, we know it goes from there. I don't think I need to give you much explanation as to where that proceeds, because this is a romance novel. The fun thing is that Hannah owns a bookstore and that Wyatt is a professional surfer. So it does take place in the summer. There's a fun little surf competition going on, and it just gives really good summer vibes. And I highly recommend that you read it. It's super fun. The writing is really great. Stephanie Archer, I think, is going to be such a talented writer, or is a such a talented writer. I'm very, very excited to read the rest of the series, and then also her hockey series, which is a book series that is on my list for 2023 to read. So I highly recommend that you go read this one too. The next one is a young adult summer romance. It's such a fun little read. I absolutely ate this up when I read it, and that is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This book, I feel like has been on Kindle Unlimited for a while, but none of her other books are on there. In fear of it being gone, I definitely recommend that you go run and read it if you haven't. Okay, this is just like such a fun romance. Like, it's such a fast-paced read. The book does follow Meredith mainly, and basically Meredith's family owns like basically so many homes on Martha's Vineyard. Okay, she comes from a like wealthy, richish family that all reside basically in Martha's Vineyard. Her grandparents have a house there. I think her aunts and uncles, her cousins, just like really big extended family all owns like property land out in Martha's Vineyard. Meredith though is currently dealing with a lot of grief due to things that have happened in the book. I don't know if they're on the back of the book, so I'm not going to say them just in freaking case. Going through a lot of grief. She hasn't been back to Martha's Vineyard, I think, in 2 years. She's going back for her cousin's wedding. There's all these like fun wedding activities going on, you know, and she's just like really learning to like trying to like cope and like get back to normal of being back in like one of her favorite places. There she meets one of the groomsmen, and this fun little game of assassin goes on while she's there. I'm not doing a good job of explaining this one, but this one is a really just fun summer read. It's just so quick, like, and it just gives really good summer vibes, especially if you're someone who's been to Martha's Vineyard. I've been to Martha's Vineyard. I can't remember if like the places that she talked about in that book are the actual places that are there. I know that some of them are. I do remember that. It gives great vibes. Okay, so it's just a fun summer read, and I think you just need to go with it. Okay, this next one is also just a book that's been on Kindle Unlimited. I know I think it was originally published on Kindle Unlimited, but this is just another, like I said, really fun summer read, and it's called Baby Moon or Bust. Now, this is an accidental pregnancy trope, so if you are not a fan of accidental pregnancy, then this is not for you. I personally don't mind an accidental pregnancy trope. If there's gonna be a conflict or a thing happens in the book, I'd rather it be an accidental pregnancy than like a stupid miscommunication. It does occur. So the book follows Tessie and Solomon, and Tessie and Solomon meet at this bar, and they both like just want a one-night stand. They both just want a one-night stand, and that's it. So they have this one-night stand. Then she finds out she is pregnant, but she doesn't know anything about Solomon, so she like literally can't even tell him. He accidentally finds out through a crazy coincidence. She's like, well, I'm going on a baby moon and you could come if you want, and we could see how this is gonna work out. Fun little baby moon. Takes place in Mexico. Fun little resort living thing going on. Yeah, it's just a fun read, just a fun time. It's a silly, goofy read. Granted, there was an accidental pregnancy trope in there. I'm not doing a good job of explaining these, but these are books I genuinely enjoyed while reading them and just give off like perfect summer vibes. I just think that other people would enjoy these as well. Next up, I have a whole series. Again, you don't really need to run to this one, but I highly recommend you do because it's the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. Okay, let me tell you, Elsie has me eating out of the palm of her hand with the Chestnut Springs series. It doesn't all take place in summer, but just like the cowboy romance itself just like feels summer to me. So I don't know. They're like really fun romances with great characters. I love the character development in all of them. And I just love the Chestnut Springs series, okay? It's a 5-star series for me. All of the books are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you do want to go out and buy the full like 5 books, then like literally they're all on Kindle Unlimited. So like run and go read those books because they're literally some of the best times. Some of the best men are written in those books. Okay, I don't have anything else to say about it other than go read the Chestnut Springs series, okay? I feel like the hype of the series explains for itself. Not many people talk about how they don't like this series. I actually haven't heard a single person talk about how they don't like this series. I think you should just go read the series. It'll be a fun summer read. Even if it's the only books you read all summer, they are immaculate. The vibes are immaculate for the summertime, okay? Next up is another indie author that I actually love. This book actually that I'm about to recommend is the second in like the duology, but you can read them as standalones considering the first one is actually a Christmas book. The second one does take place, I think, in like spring summer times, but it's called The Quitless by Katie Bailey. Actually really loved and enjoyed this book. I just read it recently. The book follows Jax and Holly, and Holly again is looking for a husband. Tell me you read the same plot line without telling me you read the same plot line in every book that you read. Holly is looking for a husband, and she's like, hey, Jax, can you help me? Jax is this wonderful outdoorsy man, just like doesn't want a relationship. He is kind of like, I'm about to literally live in the wilderness forever, with no internet, cell service, whatever. So sure, I'll help you out because I literally don't want a relationship and we won't be tied down to anything. Obviously, we know how that goes. Like, obviously. This is a closed door romance too. So if you don't love, you know, spice or anything like that, this one's great. But the tension and the banter, chef's kiss. Okay, Katie Bailey knows how to do that. Think Sarah Adams, all right? Think Sarah Adams in the terms of she knows how to write like tension for wanting that spice, but it never comes. You know what I mean? But it still hits. It still freaking hits. But yeah, so I highly recommend that you read this one. This one's just another fun one. I read this, I think, super, super quick. I just think you should go read it. Katie Bailey is easily one of my favorite indie authors. I plan to read so many more of her books. She has so many other published on Kindle Unlimited. All right, in the last book series I'm actually going to talk about that I think that you should read this summer is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is a really popular series. It's a really quick, fast-paced thriller mystery, and I actually just found out that the last one came out this month. Such a quick-paced, fast summer read. I just think like it's the best like thriller vibes. If you are a summer thriller girl, these are perfect, okay? Because you get so, like, it's just like mind-boggling the way that she throws in twists and turns, reveals where you would never expect it. And like crazy sadistic twists and turns, okay? But yeah, the Housemaid trilogy, I just think is like perfect, like thriller summer read. Okay, there's just no other explanations for it. It's just a perfect summer thriller read. And granted, you could also save it for the fall time, but in the summer, if you love reading thrillers by the pool, like if you're that type of girly, all power to you. This trilogy, you could probably binge in 3 days, not even. Probably a book a day, because that's how fast paced they are and that's how good they are. 5-star series. I haven't read the third one yet, honestly, but I can't see how it's not going to be good. Highly recommend. Alright guys, but that is all of the Kindle Unlimited summer book recs that I have for you. We got a bit of romance and some thrillers. I didn't give any fantasies because I feel like a lot of people don't love fantasies in the summertime. Personally, I can read a fantasy in the summer. Just depends on the fantasy. But we got some romances, we got some thrillers, we got a good variety, okay? Like I said, some of these you need to run. You need to run to Kindle Unlimited so that you can read this before they take it off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you read any of these books because like I said, personally, I love some of these books. Let me know what you think of them. Talk to me about them because it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias as well as subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.